Hello there, traveler. What can I do for you? A room? Well, lucky for you, I have many. I'm the Innkeeper, Rosemary. Nice to meet you. So, how many nights were you thinking about staying? You could stay one night, several nights. We could even go up to a month if you'd like. Only a few? Okay. Well, if you're in a hurry, I suppose. That'll be 50 gold a night. Does it have to do with the gold? It's okay. Where are you off to, may I ask? In such a hurry. So, you are a mysterious traveler with no direction? Interesting. Well, we have a room for all types. No problem. Of course. So, go ahead and sit down in one of our many comfortable chairs. If you'd like, I could bring you some of our complimentary dinners as well as a complimentary drink. It's for all of our guests. Yes, it's made to order. We have many fresh local vegetables and chicken, beef, all that. Well, today we have a soup made by our in-house chef. It's made with some chicken stock as well as some vegetables like carrots and peas, celery, potatoes. I believe there's bits of chicken in there. And, oh yes, and wild rice as well to give it a bit of texture. It's quite delicious, I do recommend it. Alright, suit yourself. You always have the option to have a bit if you'd like. We keep it warm. Now how about that drink? Of course. The traveler never resists a drink. We do have some mead as well as some wine that comes from the vineyard right outside of town. It's some of the best, I do recommend it. Perfect. Here, might as well use the glass I just cleaned. Here we have our famous red wine. The farmers who tend to the grapes take much care of them. They have the best protective spells to keep the grapes away from all sorts of bugs, as well as some spells to make them most plump. Their methods are secret, although I don't mind. I just drink the wine. I will definitely pour you a glass. It keeps many travelers coming back here, honestly. I think that they just come for the wine. I'll give you a little bit for now. It's actually quite strong. I'm not really sure how much of a drinker you are. Some always say that they're heavy drinkers and that they can handle it, but I am not always sure that's true. I'll just leave that next to you just in case you'd like some more. It's good, isn't it? Oh, I'm glad you like it. So, I'm just really curious. I don't know if it's a bit forward of me, but may I ask what sort of business you have traveling? A mercenary? Really? A mercenary with nowhere to go? You see, I think that I may be able to help you, and you may be able to help me. Your gear is very worn. I can see that. I suppose you've been traveling for a long time. It's very dirty as well. How long has it been since you've repaired it? Well, we do have a blacksmith in town as well. But we're going to need to replace your gear. Luckily for you, there are many businessmen that travel through here, and I collected many wares that I sell. So, if you help me, I will re-gear you for free. How's that sound? Well, the catch, if you may ask. Have you ever heard of the Brotherhood? The Brotherhood. Well, maybe you haven't heard of them yet, but since you're in the area, you may end up running into them. They haven't really been here for years. We thought maybe they went and found a more lucrative place to do their horrible deeds. Although there's been a recent spike in activity. They are filthy, horrible scum. Thieves. And there's quite a bit of them. They all work together. The townsfolk are just terrified, to be honest. And I feel so bad for them. Especially those that don't have quite a big a place to reside as I do. Of course, we have many locks because we want to protect our travelers, but not everyone has protection like we do. And to be honest, I have a personal bone to pick with them. My supply caravan, that comes weekly, was raided last week. I have to go off of what I have until next week's caravan. I'm pretty sure I'm going to run out. And then, of course, how am I supposed to feed my patrons? Or anything. My business will fail if this keeps happening. I'm also a little peeved that they even did it in the first place. Even if I would be okay. And even then, the uncertainty. Are they going to do it again this week? I don't know. Who's next? We are a town of farmers and salesmen. We don't have any warriors or fighters. We don't see many mercenaries either. Honestly, you're our only hope. Will you do it? Thank you so much. Thank you. It really means a lot to us. So, there's talk about town. I know where their hideout is. They must have just made it. I think that's why there's been a recent spike. It's so easy when it's so close to town. But if you sneak in there and take care of them, teach them a lesson perhaps, maybe they won't bug us anymore. Perfect. So, onto the gear. Don't worry, I'll give it to you first. I wouldn't send you in there with what you have. Well, of course I trust you. Yes, you could take the gear and run, but honestly, I can see it in your eyes. They're honest eyes. And perhaps you are my only hope. So, I believe what I want to. Either way, I'm overjoyed. So, let's gear you before you wake up in the morning so that you're able to do it early. Let's see. Let me go through what I have. I have some general gear, mainly accessories, as well as some scrolls and potions that you can take with you. You can choose what you like, or what you'd like to have, or whichever. You could have it all if you want. I don't mind. Okay, so let's start with gear. Well, the first item is some leather bags. Obviously, with all these things that I'm going to be giving you, you're going to need better bags than those linen ones. I'm sure they were cheap, but they don't carry much. These, you see, they were made by a tailor on their way through town. It comes with a belt so that you can tie it around your waist. Of course, these don't add to your armor, but they carry quite a lot. I know they look tiny, but once you open them, a lot more opens up. This one I recommend you take. Here you are. Next, some gloves for you. They are fingerless, but trust me, with gloves that go all the way, you lose dexterity. These ones do come with a very fine steel mesh, and this is very thick leather made by a leather worker that was coming through town. Just a little bit of a demonstration. How do you like this? Good. I'll set those aside. Perfect. And the next item. These here are bracers, of course. They go right here on your arm. That way you can guard any attack that comes your way. These are extremely thick leather. believe they are of elven origin. Meaning they may actually have some added protection to them. Of course, with their strength, I do believe I heard they have added dexterity through some sort of spell making of some sort. I'm sure an enchanter got their hands on them at some point. How do you like them? Perfect. I will add those to your gear as well. Okay. Next, I believe you'll need a new undershirt. It's very dirty. That's okay. It means that you've had much practice. This undershirt is made of the finest linen our tailors could find. So very fine details, of course. It's very soft. So although you will be covered in gear, it won't give you any sort of rashes or any sort of skin issues, because this will be protecting you between you and your armor. I don't know if you can hear how soft it is, but this is another one of those that I strongly recommend. In fact, I insist. Rather large, but that's not supposed to fit me, is it? Perfect. Set that with your things. And I think we may need some more items that have been enchanted. Perhaps something to add some intellect. This is a waist item. Well, I suppose maybe a torso item. It comes across your torso like so. And it hugs your waist as well. This is to protect your shoulder, right here. Again, when you're fighting, we don't want our very special areas to get cut. Those are things that they go for. The weak areas, of course. But this one is enchanted with some intellect on there. Oh, I didn't realize that was a stat that you didn't use. Well, if anything, you can just wear it for the protection. And maybe, although the stat may go unused, it will be there just in case. And of course, you can switch it out for some new gear once you get the next chance. This one is also made of very thick leather, perhaps by the same leather worker as the bracers. Okay, set that over there. One last item of gear that I'd like to show you. So, if you don't use intellect, perhaps stamina. Always useful. See, I have this weathered belt, of course, but comes with 4 stamina and 4 strength. It's quite popular. I have a lot of offers, but none were quite enough. Although, if you fix my problem, it is all yours to keep. If not, I'll be tearing it off of your dead body. That was a joke. There's no way I would go into the Brotherhood's nest, I suppose. But this one again, I insist you use, since of course it will help you very much. There we go. That's a bit it for our gear and accessories. Oh, you know what? I do also have some jewelry made by a jewel maker that came by a few days ago. I totally forgot I had it. So, let's see here. Aha. Isn't it gorgeous? It's made of elven gold. I'm sorry, I don't really know the effects that are on this one. Elves are quite tricky. I am but a simple wood elf. This one was made by some high elves. They don't share their secrets very often, but this traveler did sell this to me. How about it? I suppose that's true. It may also be a negative effect if I don't know what it does. Alright, well, I do have one more item. Well, neck item. This one was dwarven made. I've had this one for a few months actually, now that I think about it. Not often we see dwarves, though this one was very kind. It's made of a special brass, heated in a dwarven kiln. I'm sure that it has a very high strength effect that it will add to your stats. I don't care about the money, don't worry. All I care about is the safety of my town. Do you think I'll be using this? Newsflash, I won't. I won't need any strength to make beds or fold linens and things. Though I believe it may help you. You may have to somehow add a spell of quiet to this. It probably won't help with your stealth. So we'll set this in the maybe pile. So that was it for the gear. I do have several scrolls and possibly 2 potions that could help you out. Again, I'm not an alchemist or an inscriptionist, so I only have what was sold to me, or given to me in payment instead of gold for a room. That's another way I do end up with a lot of different items. Perhaps we can start with the scrolls. I have several of them. They look a bit worn, but it works all the same. They are magical scrolls, and as soon as you open them, the effect begins after you read it. Of course, you say it out loud, and then it begins. So, let's see. We have one scroll of protection. This gives you about an hour of extra protection. Doesn't give you any armor, of course, but cosmic protection, I suppose. This one must have come from a dwarven area because it is quite singed. But I have checked, the words are intact. This would be good for you. The next one, this one is for luck. Just a little bit of luck would never hurt anyone. Read the words, and for half an hour your luck increases. Maybe one of the Brotherhood just can't seem to land any hits for whichever reason. This one I would read right before you go in. Although who knows how long they'll be in there. What's next? Yes. This one. You may not need this one, although you never know. It's a scroll of fortune. Maybe they keep many fortunes in there, or much gold and different sort of things that they've stolen. This one just happens to double the effect. Like maybe there was more gold there than you thought. Or perhaps it was a little bit shinier and so you saw it when you would normally have glanced away. Would you like this one anyway? Could help. Okay, I'll set it with your stuff. This last one. Ah, yes. Stealth. This is the one I was talking about earlier. You are much stealthier after the effect of this one has begun. You are much harder to hear, and your footsteps aren't quite as loud as they used to be. This one I recommend you absolutely use. Sneaking up behind them will help you much. Less injury. Hey, I don't know how good of a fighter you are. You look tough, but you never know. Everything helps. That one, put in a special place. What's next? Potions. I admittedly don't have many potions. Alchemists aren't quite popular in this town because we used to have an alchemist of our own that was doing some nefarious things, and so she was kicked out. Perhaps you will meet her eventually. I'm not quite sure where she went, but she is popular. She makes very interesting potions. Anyway, the ones that I do have are a little weird. So, this one is for talking with woodland creatures. You drink this, and for 10 minutes, you can converse with any squirrel, deer, I don't know, whatever frog that's in the woods. Maybe they could tell you about the Brotherhood or something. I'm not sure. Or maybe of their schedule, or where they set off to be. I'm not sure. Either way, you may find a use for it. Alright, I'll just set it with your stuff. If you take it, if you don't, that's fine. Okay. Again, another weird one. This one helps you breathe underwater. It lasts 15 minutes. And after you drink it, that's when it starts ticking. Maybe you run off or something and hide in the water or something. I don't know. It could be useful, perhaps. 15 minutes of breathing underwater isn't too bad. I'm not even quite sure if that potion of the woodland creatures works on fish. I would think not. I would think it must be a mammal. Either way, this one could come in handy. You never know. Water breathing is just cool in general. I honestly thought about using this one a few months out, just to see what's in the local lake. Sometimes people drop things when they're fishing, you never know. Or maybe there was a treasure from long lost ago or whatever. I definitely thought about it, but in the end, it's just not my thing. Especially if I end up finding nothing but dirt. Good choice. I'll add this to your things. Unfortunately, that is everything that I have. There are many others in town that could potentially help you. We do have a woman who has pets that she sells. I'm not sure if they help much, but it might be fun to check out. I'm not really sure. I'm sure if you help with the Brotherhood, that anyone would be willing to give you anything they have. I mean, not everything, but, you know, little gifts. This is seriously a very large problem that we've had. I can't wait for it to be over. And it all relies on you. So, I want you to be as geared up and as ready as you can be. Thank you, Traveler. Now, get some rest. You have a very big day tomorrow. I'll wake you with some delicious breakfast and orange juice. Go ahead and find a very comfortable place to sleep in your room, whether it be the ground or the bed. It's true, I've seen many travelers sleep on the ground. That way they don't get used to the softness of the bed. It's up to you. Again, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. This means so much to me. Good night, traveler.